Utusha Sreid Ken Gifu Vinya Hagal Nautiz Jera Perthro Algisul Tyr Bjarka Maderlagu Ingodal Lages Fe Nautiz Jera Perthro. Hi and welcome back to my channel. I am Koala and this is my little nook in this end of the universe that we call YouTube. I am a shamanic practitioner mainly within Nordic shamanism, and today I'm here to continue our journey through the Uthark. And this is the third video, and in this video I am going to talk about Naud or Nautiz, Is or Insuz, Jera or Jera, and Perthro or Perthro. In this video I will start off by talking a little bit about these four runes, what they have in common. I will then talk a little bit about the number magic of these four runes before I go into what I felt when meditating with these four runes for this video. And then lastly I will talk about some of the unique aspects of each and every rune. And yeah, let's get into it, shall we? So, the first thing that these four runes have in common, and I want to say that three of these runes have this directly in common, and then the fourth rune has it via the number magic, so I will be going into that a little bit in this video, more than usual. So, the first aspect is goddesses. So, the first rune, Naud or Nautiz, is the rune of the Norns. And here I just want to interject with the fact that everything I say and everything I share about the runes are the sum of a lot of different aspects. One being the way I was taught the runes, or more like the system that I sought out when I needed structure when working with the runes, because I have worked with or been familiar with the runes ever since childhood, and they intrigued me when I was a child. I wrote with the runes at the same time I started learning to write with the normal alphabet, so they have been a part of me since I was at least 5, 6, 7 years old. But when I became older, I wanted some more structure, and I sought out Jörgen E. Eriksson, or Norrchaman as he's called, and he had this structure of the runes that I have been leaning on when starting my journey as a young adult. And then on top of that, I have walked with the runes for more than a decade and a half now, on my own, and learning from them, walking with them, and I walk with them in what I call rune journeys, or rune journeys I would say in English, where I walk with them from Urus to Fehu in like a circular spiral kind of way, and going deeper and discovering different aspects, and also going in deeper into who I am together with the runes and their dynamic together with me, because I am me, you are you, another person they are them, and the runes have different personalities and different meanings, of course, but all of this together makes for very different experiences with the runes. So being connected to the Norns is one aspect that is inherent in this rune, but that doesn't mean that someone else doesn't have the right to feel a connection with another goddess to these runes because of their experience with the runes and their work with the runes. So I think that as long as your opinions on things like this comes from your journey with the runes, then there is no right or wrong. The right or wrong comes in when you only lean on someone else's word and what they say is the truth. Because working in a shamanic way, working in a spiritual way with the runes goes deeper than just the written word or what someone tells you. That is why in every course that I hold teaching the runes, we walk with the runes. The participants walk with the runes because I want everyone to get the sense of the energies of the runes, the personalities of the runes, and getting to know the runes on a deeper level, with the basis of this, you know, basic meanings of the runes, as the one about the Norse being connected to Nautiz. So, anyway, moving forward. The goddess connected to the next rune is, or Insuz, is Skadi, and I have just posted a video last week about Skadi and the winter solstice, so you can learn more about her in that video. And then in the next rune of Jera, we have Freya, and this is one of the runes that some people, I wouldn't say that I've met someone that doesn't connect Freya to Jera, but I have met people that have connected Freya more to other runes, like Berkana, for instance. In the fact that Berkana is the Earth Mother's rune and the Mother Goddess rune, and some people have a relationship with Freya where she is the Mother Goddess to them. So that's where they make that connection. And then we can also put Freya in Ken or Kennas because of the passion, because of the creativity, and because of all of like the energy in that rune that also can connect you to Freya. But for me, I have always connected Freya with being the goddess of love, and that is the aspect of her that I see in Jera, because Jera is the rune of love, among other things. So I can surely connect Freya to other runes, and I might connect the Norns to other runes than Nautiz. And you might connect Freya or the Norns to other runes when you work with them. As individual goddesses, I connect the Norns to other runes as well, because of their unique aspects. But this is not a video about the goddesses only. So I'm going to go into Perthro now. And this is the rune that has like a more indirect connection to goddesses. And that is via the number magic. So the number for this rune is 12. And in that number, that is, the number for Perthro, we have 1 and 2, and then we have 1 plus 2 equals 3, so we have 3 other numbers connected to this rune. And the one I'm thinking of is the number 3 that is connected to Insuz, which is the rune of Asgard or Asgard, and the female Aser, that is the goddesses of Asgard. So Asgard. I struggle with saying Asgard. It just feels so weird. I understand that a lot of other countries don't have this letter of O that is in Asgard. But as a Swede, please let me just say Asgard. Just let me. So that is how I connect Perthro to Asgard, because when I talk about this rune, I often refer to it and its connection to the rune of Insuz and the spiritual aspect of that rune, and the connection to the higher realms, and the divine guidance that you can get from Perthro through its connection to the number 3 and the rune of Insuz. So if we look at the number magic in this rune, we can also see Audhumbla, the mother cow, in the number 1, and then we can see the giants in the number 2, although there aren't one female or giant goddess to talk about. Skadi is a giant or a giantess, but she's an ice goddess. She's a giant, but she's not connected to the number 2 because she's not connected to Jotunheim. In Jotunheim we have another type of giants, and like Skadi's father, Chatse, is one of those giants. So there's no goddess in that number. But we can dig and dig and dig and dig, and this is why I love to work with the runes. we can dig and dig and dig, and there's so much to know. So, and there's so much to discover. So come discover with me next year on Patreon. If you find this intriguing, come walk with the runes with me next year. So, moving forward, the next aspect that these runes have in common is that we can go deep with them. And this is true for 3 out of 4. So I'm going to talk about the one that we don't go deep with first, and that is Jera. And now that I'm thinking of it, if we go really deep with Freya and the connection to Freya with this rune, we can go deep with Jera over here as well. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to dig an even deeper hole than I've already made. So what I want to talk about is that Jera is the rune of love, is the rune of the wheel of the year, and it's a rune that encompasses a lot of things, a lot of like the opposites of yin and yang that aren't really concepts in the Nordic tradition, but we have opposites like that, like the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, and the body and the mind, and there's another rune actually that is more connected to the body, mind, spirit. So my point is that this is a rune where things connect a lot, and we marry them. This is the rune for the marriage between heaven and earth, but it's not a rune that we use to go really, really deep when we talk about like rune healing and that sort of thing. It's not in any way shallow or superficial, because we can use this rune to get a deeper understanding of things and the world, and in a circular manner. I'm going to talk about that later. And then we can use this rune to get like an overview, because it encompasses so much of the whole when opposites meet. But we don't go deep in the sense that I'm going to talk about now. And with Nautiz, we go deep because this is the rune that we use to go deep into the dream time, into the 9 realms, to really create. And now I've gotten so excited that I almost lost my voice. So with Nautiz, we create our reality. This is the rune that we use under Norns. We can also utilize their power and medicine to cut cords, to create the present and create our possibilities and choose our possibilities and draw the future near. It's really Seder work, and it's really going deep into the dream time. And yeah, I think you understand what I mean about going deep. And then with Insuz, we go deep because we go into the underworld of Niflheim to work with our fears and to alchemize that energy, and to face our fears and to heal. And then with Perthro, we go deep because this is the rune of being trapped within the walls of your own opinions, your own principles, your own prejudices, and that sort of thing. So we really need to dig ourselves out of the whole of that, and out of that, because it's not just like 4 walls. It's that we have dug ourselves deep down into the bedrock to really captivate ourselves within the barriers and boundaries of our own mind and our own, like I said, opinions and prejudices and that sort of thing. So we need, when we work with this rune, we need to go really deep and dig ourselves out of the hole. Next up is the number magic. And the numbers for these runes are 9, 10, 11 and 12. And you've seen a bit of the intricacies that this can bring to the runes when I talked about Perthro. And I will not talk more about the runic number magic in these videos. I will talk about it on Patreon in December. So what I can say and will say is that now that we have reached the double-digit number, so we have gone past the number 9 with Nautiz, it becomes more and more intricate, because the runes with double digits have more, there's more to consider, especially when we work with them in different kind of ways, like making bind runes and that sort of thing. And that is also something that I will talk about on my Patreon. So when I meditated with these runes as a group, the energies that I felt had to do with the creation and healing work and the medicine of these runes. So the first thing I felt was the kind of a mutual energy of clearing blockages, clearing our path, working deep in the dream time and everything that I mentioned with these 4 runes to create our own reality and to create our future, and to kind of be the ones that put the work in for our own transformation and that kind of energy. So I felt the energy of Nautiz really being the creator of our own lives. And then I felt the love from Jera, working to clear the fears that we keep within our inner Niflheim with the rune of Insuz, because love is the antidote to fear. And to then with Perthro, as I said, digging deep to really remove the blockages that consist of our own prejudices and things that we have been taught, mostly, so things that have become a part of us, that we have inherited from our parents, or that we have brought into this life from another lifetime. But to really clear that, so the clearing of blockages that we can do with Perthro. And all of these 4 runes together are extraordinary examples of healing with the runes and working with the runes in a way that we can call Seder, we can call it healing, and it's all of the above. So the last thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to the runes in this video are some of the unique properties of these runes, and I think I've already touched on these before in this video, so not much will be new, but listen. So when it comes to Nautiz, this is the only rune with the active creation process. Like in the previous video about another set of 4 runes, I talked about the active ingredients in a rune, and this is the rune that have one of those active ingredients where it urges us to do and not just be, with the creation of creating our own reality and working within the dream time and the web of life. So then we have the ice rune. And when I say it like that, for instance, I think you can almost sense what I'm getting at, and that is that this is the only one of these 4 runes that is connected to an element, and it's the element of ice in the Nordic practice. So this is the 3rd rune that we have come across so far that is connected to an element. The first one was Insuz with the element of air, and then we had Kenas with the element of fire, and now we have the ice. So now we can really start creating things, you guys. We can use the fire, the creative force of the fire and the shaping force of the ice to create something beautiful, and not just get stuck in producing. Now we can shape something. We can make something out of what we have created. And then we have Jera, which is the only one of these runes that has this circular energy that I talked about, and it reminds me a lot of the energy in Gebo that I talked about in my previous video, that they are both connected to the heart, but it's different kind of energies, and I don't want to go too deep into that, because this is something that I think is really amazing to explore on your own. Really get to know the runes, get to know Gebo and that healing energy that is connected to the heart, as well as Jera and that healing energy that is connected to the heart, and on your own sense the difference between those two. I can talk for ages about it, but the experience is really what matters. And then the last rune of Perthro is the only one of these 4 runes that is connected to land spirits. This is connected to the spirits of stones, but also connected to dwarves. So dwarves in the Nordic tradition are the ones that live deep in the bedrock, in the mountains, and they work to as smiths, is that the English word? To really bend and shape different minerals and different, like gold and silver and iron, into things, into everything from weapons to shovels or whatever. But it's really about bending and shaping, and on another level than the creation process of Nautiz, which is more on like a bigger scale. Perthro is about taking what you have and taking like the basic elements that you have around you to create something tangible, I would say. So it's a really wonderful experience to do work with these spirits of the land and spirits that are also inside of you, because everything that is outside of us is also a part of us. So thank you for watching this video, and thank you for liking, subscribing, for commenting. It really goes a long way here on YouTube. And I want to end this video by thanking all of my patrons. It really goes a long way to become a member on my Patreon and supporting what I do, to help me continue to share videos here on YouTube and on Patreon with an educational purpose, because that's what I'm trying to do. So thank you to all my free members on Patreon for supporting me with your presence and your kindness and your interest in what I do. And thank you to all my patrons on the tier of Curious for supporting me by investing in what I do, so that I can continue to do it. That small amount that you pay each month really goes a long way for me as a creator. And if you want to join me on my Patreon, on my tier of Curious, to support me monetarily every month, I would be wonderfully grateful. If you can't, I will hope that you will still want to be a free member. As a free member, you will get 1 bonus video a month connected to the topic that I talk about here on YouTube. And for November and December, that means rune meditations. So I hope that you find that interesting, because one of the ways that I teach is through guided meditations, channeled meditations, in this case from the runes and their energies. So if you want to know more about the runes, as I said, you can become a member on my Patreon. And if you want to walk with the runes with me next year, I would love for you to become a member on the tier of Apprentice that I will start up during December. And the Walk with the Runes, that is a course that you can take with me, starts at the full moon in January, where we start to walk with the rune of Urus and then walk with all of the runes one at a time through almost the entire year of 2026. So yeah, I hope to see you there, and I hope to see you here. And the walk in beauty, I walk with the runes. Xingeling.